Now it's, of course, happy Easter, happy Resurrection Sunday, all that for you Christians out there. This is your day. Say that Jesus rose from the dead. He rose from the cross. He was blood and sweat and tears and just the most horrific, terrible death ever. But there's faith that says that he was resurrected from all that. He was clean and fresh and new when he came off the cross and he ascended into heaven. Then he came back and showed his disciples where he was wounded. They hung him high and stretched him wide. They dislocated his arm and his elbow and hammered the nails into his hands. I mean, it's just horrific. This is what's so crazy. This is what's so uh, understandably ridiculous and just sick. Really, it's sick. That's why we have the schizophrenic culture of the different ideas around Easter. We have, the bunny rabbit and the eggs hunts and stuff like that. So Christians mix and mingle. They say, this is very secular, but we're going to still do it. We still believe in Jesus. We're still going to go into church. We're still going to believe. But then we're going to have this totally different set of ideas brought up by, I'm searching the word for it. I can't think of the word. I'm trying to think of the word. It's not Celtic. What is Easter Bunny is from culture. It was introduced by the German immigrants to Pennsylvania during the 1700s. So it was German, the Easter Bunny origins. So that's why it was. This is the ideas of where the Easter Bunny came from. The folklore, the figure, the depiction of the rabbit. Sometimes with clothes on. Everybody takes a picture at the mall for Easter. This is like Christmas light. It's not as heavy as Christmas, but it's a weird thing too because the death in the calendar year of Jesus comes before his birth. So it's weird. And his birth was actually sometime in the spring. So they should really get that right. They should really get that right. Because he did not have a birth in the wintertime. It was not in the winter. It was sometime in the spring. So that's just something you have to look forward to. I know a lot of people were joining in hand and having Easter meals and spiral ham and turkey sometimes in some cases. Maybe even a rabbit if you were so inclined to have a rabbit on Easter. That would be kind of weird, but I guess people somewhere does that. Somewhere people do that. But I want to get to my main topic. I want to, of course, 5 years ago, one of the most prolific, one of the most, just wise souls was snatched from us, was stolen from us. Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle was one of the greatest rappers to never be, the greatest rapper. He didn't have enough albums. He didn't have enough, stamina, but that's because it was all rocked from him. It was stolen from him. He had one album. The rest were mixtapes. And that's how we got to know Nipsey. We got to know him through Jay-Z, who bought, I think, his album was like $100, and Jay-Z bought like 10 or 100 of those mixtapes. So it made it a big scene, like, oh wow, he really believes in this guy. And Nipsey was that guy. He really was. And what's great about today is that his girlfriend, his former girlfriend, his child's mother or his children's mother, Lauren London, is keeping his legacy alive. She's keeping the marathon running. She's keeping it going. That's what's so beautiful, And I just remember that day. It was such a wild day. I just remember, watching the footage. They're going to the TMC, the marathon continues. Clothing store and in his community in Crenshaw and Slauson. But that it rocked me. It really did, because he was. I didn't know Nipsey Hussle until 2018, a year before his death. I didn't know he was that prolific. I didn't know that he was that powerful. I didn't know he was that guy. He was that guy. And I listened to his album. I'm like, God damn, how did I not know about this guy before? And I was like, okay, now I'm on the bandwagon. And then up in smoke, shot right, point blank range. I think it was. I don't even know how close it was, but he was shot and killed by this low life. I'm not even gonna mention his name, but he was shot and killed on his own property, on his own place where he wanted to build up the community. This is a good example. Diamond DJ, salute. You spelled my name right. I'm asking for $10. $10. If you can do $10, cool. If you can, the lowest I'm going is $7.35. But if you can do $10, that'd be great. That's all I'm asking for. If you can't do any of that, that's cool too. Just be another visitor, another viewer. That's cool too, Diamond DJ. Do what you gotta do, whatever feels upon your heart, whatever's on your heart. Give of yourself. Come as you are. Pause. No Diddy. Give the man some love. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm doing. I'm giving him his respect, because he definitely deserves it. Nipsey Hussle deserves that respect. He encouraged me. He just when I think about him, I think about him alive. I don't think about him in death. Even though his funeral was beautiful, and I was glad that, I think it was E Network or some network, BT, might have been CNN. They were covered. They had full coverage of his funeral, and it was like sold out. Like it was. I think it was at the Staples Center when it was the Staples Center. I don't think it's the Staples Center anymore, but when in L.A., Los Angeles, he brought the idea of coming together, building up a community, but that's all bullshit. That's the sad part that he didn't understand. Don't go back to the hood. Don't build up the hood. The hood doesn't care about you. Obviously, the hood will pull you down. Will tear you apart. Obviously, as we've seen with him, he had such a good mind. He had such a great soul. Diamond DJ saying East Coast. Where you at? Oh, where you at, LL Scott? I'm from the East Coast too. I'm from Newark, Delaware. Diamond DJ. Who are you talking about? I'm talking about Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle. It was 5 years ago today that he was gunned down. And I just remember that funeral. I just remember the Cadillac hearse making its way around his neighborhood, going on the highway, going all the way around. So that was his final lap. That was his marathon. The marathon continues. And Lauren London said today that energy never dies. And I don't know how right she is, but scientifically, that's the case. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. That's the law of conservation. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. And she said energy never dies. And his energy continues. I mean, you can talk about the money. He left $11 million. That might not be a lot, but for somebody that had one album, for someone who had, just a clothing line that was fledgling, that wasn't fully established. They kicked me off. I don't know why they kicked you off. You're doing okay. You're not a problem. Try to come back in. See if you can come back in. They kicked you off. I don't know what you mean. But try to come back in. And since I answered your question, you owe me $10 at least. And $7.35 at the least. $10 is the most, or if you want to go higher, that's your business. But I'm asking for at least $7.35, or the my max ask is $10. Okay. Where at on the East Coast? Don't breathe. This stream that's coming. I don't know what you mean, but if you want to ask a question, you got to put down the dollar amounts. I'm asking for at least $7.35 up to $10. if you want to ask a question. I'm back. My brother Star taught me you well. Well, he must not be that much of a teacher because, well, he is a teacher, of course, but we don't like to be called brother. It's offensive because it's collectivism. It's all about the collective when you talk about brother. If you don't really have a biological brother, your brother, or if you have a familial brother, your stepbrother, your brother-in-law, those are your brothers. Anybody else, it's collectivism. So I appreciate if you not call me brother. LOL, I'm broke. Gotta pay $2,000 mortgage. Hey, that's okay. Tell somebody else that ain't broke. Well, we're not friends either. I'm not your buddy. I'm not your pal. But let somebody else that's not broke, come in. Tell them about the show. That's all I can say. But Nipsey Hussle, March 31st, 2019, seems like it was yesterday. And it seems like a long time ago at the same time. Well, don't give me love. Give me money. Hate me, and pay me. That's all you can. That's all you can do. Let somebody else, carry the burden. Don't be Elvis. I don't know who Elvis Presley. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, Nipsey Hussle died March 31st, 2019, and it still is a gap in the continuum of hip hop, cause he's like. Was it? Let me make sure I get his name right. Make sure I get his name right. Lynn Bias. He was the Lynn Bias of hip hop. Sadly, it was he had tremendous amounts of energy and greatness and on the precipice. He was on the verge of it. He was on the edge of greatness. But sadly he was silenced far too soon. Oh, who is this? Rick James. Ladies and gentlemen, you wanted the best, you got the best. I present the man who goes beyond the woods and goes through the looking glass and sees orange, sir. Skylar Sander sees what's current. Lynn has his demons. Well, yeah, it's spelled differently. It's Len, but yeah. So I know it's a totally different situation. He wasn't murdered. He wasn't killed. Nipsey was killed. He was murdered. And Lynn Bias, took on the cocaine. It was either too much or he didn't know how to sniff it correctly or something like that. But I'm just saying as a metaphor for budding talent, for greatness on the verge of greatness, on that precipice, on that edge of greatness. They both were on there and they were silenced. That's the sad. We didn't get the full picture. We didn't get the full idea of what they could have been. That's my point. Yes, Rick James. He was on the cocaine train. That is true. So that's all I'm saying. It's a very delicate situation because two kids are involved. Cross and hold on, let me see. I had their names together. Let's see. I'm looking for his daughter Imani and his son Cross. And so, that's one of my favorite songs. It's saying the last time when I checked, it's saying about the rapper. That's one of my favorite songs by him. The last time when I checked, that just like brings so much energy and so much power to the microphone. I just love that song. It's a great song. It's a wonderful song. So, definitely check for that. Check for all his mixtape. Check for everything that you can possibly get. You'll be enlightened. You'll be surprised. You'll be dumbfounded. You'll be encouraged. You'll be inspired and motivated. Nip was one of the best to ever do it easily. Yes, Rick James speaking facts. Happy Resurrection Sunday to you, sir, by the way. You know, I'm sure you're a Christian, and you probably took the grandkids for Easter egg hunt, you know. But yeah, that's what's weird about Easter. It falls on certain days, so it just happened to fall on the day that he was murdered. Even the stuff released in the 2000s was good. Yeah, goes way back. Hustle. Nipsey. Is it Nipsey? Let me look this up. God damn it. God damn it. Hustle in the House. Hustle in the House is another one of my favorite songs. It gets a party going. It's the crisscross sample. He just like everything he talked about, everything he talked. You just watch his interviews. He had tension, stress, and or beef. Obviously, he did have beef. It wasn't just stress. He had tension, drama, and or beef. He said, Rick James says, "Happy Bunny Day to you." Well, I appreciate it. I'm an atheist, but I partook. Is that a word? Is partook a word? Partook. Yes, I did partook. Uh, but it means to eat or drink. But I participated in going to church, having a great brunch, having a great dinner, and it just all came full circle. It was wonderful. It was a great expression of the bounty of life again. Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that is about bounty of life. Even this, the renewal, the spring, everything becomes new, starts over again. Rick James says, "I was once a Satanist, sir, in the Church of Satan. Would I recommend it for a year or two?" He said, "I would recommend it for a year or two." Well, I'm not in the Church of Satan. I always, counter people and say, "Well, I am Satan. I'm the devil. I'm just aging backwards." You know, it's not bad. That's a stereotype. Well, it's still mysticism. It's still, however you look at it, it's not based on facts and reality and truth and the bounds of this universe. But that's metaphysically speaking. But we got to get back to Nipsey. Nipsey was one of the greatest. Sadly, he couldn't be counted as one of the greatest. He would have been one of the greatest, it seems. His track record and his mixtapes tell a tale of somebody that was, and his initial album was really good. It was very good. It wasn't spectacular, but it was very good. It was like a B plus, A minus. It was like excellent, very good to excellent. I mean, it just reminded everybody about the marathon. It continues. The marathon continues in all of us who are still alive. Rick James says he's now studying Krishna. All right. Mysticism all the way. If Nipsey was still alive, then Kendrick would have brought him brought him on stage. Yeah, I can see that. Well, I think Nipsey would have brought Kendrick on stage because I think he's younger. He would have been younger than him. I'm gonna just move. Hold on. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, Nipsey was born in 1985. Kendrick Lamar was born in 1987. And I think he came out a few years earlier than him. So it's just a sad shame all the way around. But there's always the cliche goes, there's always a silver lining. And that silver lining is Lauren London. Because she's gonna get, a percentage of his estate along with her two children. They're gonna be able to eat off of his efforts. And that's beautiful. She's gonna probably, I'm sure she's gonna put into different charitable organizations. She's gonna, make sure that her children are well fed. There's even a 2012 vehicle that they can split up the the proceeds after it's sold. Black Coffee, salute, sir. I'm asking for $7.35 to $10. If you can't do it, that's all right. I can totally understand, but that's all I'm asking for. I have to put it out there: $7.35 to $10, somewhere in that range. But if you can't do it, don't worry about it. Yeah. So that's the weird part about the calendar year, how how Easter falls on certain days, and some days it doesn't fall on certain days. Sometimes I think sometimes it's in April, sometimes it's in late March, like right now. But yeah. So also one of my favorite songs with him is with John Legend. I'm about to say John Lennon, John Legend. Higher. That's the name of the song. Higher. You keep taking me higher and higher. Don't you know that the devil is a liar? I'm not gonna say much else because I get copyright, and I don't know how much I gotta pay the estate of Nipsey Hussle. Today Bunny Day, tomorrow Fools. Exactly. That's what's weird. I think there was one day in my lifetime that Easter fell on April Fool's Day. I think that actually did happen. And it was like, people were hiding fake eggs and actual eggs and stuff like that. Like, just crazy stuff like that. Rick James says, "Call me crazy, but I might prefer John Lennon over John Legend." Well, I would obviously choose John Lennon over John Legend just on writing ability, just on ability to write a song. I would definitely choose John Lennon over John Legend. But anyway, we're talking about Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle, sadly, is probably remembered for his death more than anything. That's the sad part about it. Like, it's a real shame. See, now it's not the Staples Center, it's the Crypto.com arena. Yeah, but back then it was the Staples Center. Even former President Barack Obama says he praised the rapper, this is from Wikipedia, for his work in the community, writing in a tribute. While most folks look at the Crenshaw neighborhood where he grew up and see only gangs, bullets, and despair, Nipsey saw potential. Well, that's the thing. It's gangs, bullets, and despair. That's what the hood is. It's like, never show your plate to a nigga that's hungry. I don't know if Nipsey showed his plate, but that nigga was hungry apparently, and he ate him up like a wolf. Sadly, I'm not trying to dump on Nipsey, but I'm just saying that's how the hood thinks. How you have to adjust to the hood mentality and then escape from that. That's the only way you can benefit from being in life. Is to get into mansions in the Hollywood Hills or something like that, not in Crenshaw. But then again, you can have the argument. PNB Rock, he was gunned down in an affluent area. Pop Smoke was gunned down in an opulent area. They ran down on Soldier Boy in his gated community. Who knows how? Maybe somebody was paid off at the gate. We don't know the facts, but that's a possibility. Wait. Slow down. The people are. This is what Rick James says. The people celebrating Easter are the fools. Let's slow that down. People who celebrate Christian mythology are not fools. They are very smart. They're the brightest. They're about 80 to 90% of the world's population. People who believe in something, in some mysticism, and like, what is it, 60 to 70% probably are Christians. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's somewhere around there. It's in America. It's like in the 80%. It's like 80% of people believe in some kind of Christian ideal. So that intertwined with the idea of being a someone that is looking to find truth. I wouldn't call them the fools. I would say that they're searching. They're still searching. They haven't found the reality of objectivism. They haven't found the reality of reason, individualism, and capitalism. But they're not fools. They're not fools. Far from fools. So Nipsey, his whole, idea. I mean, it's amazing that we can even say Nipsey. Rick James says they still haven't found what they're looking for. He's giving me YouTube lyrics now. But Nipsey Hussle, the whole idea behind Nipsey Hussle was, about achieving, about making something, about doing something, about being motivated, about always striving for more, always and continuing it. No matter what, just keep going and going and going. Even when you feel like giving up, even feel like stopping, even if you feel like not going any further, you just keep going on and on and on and on and on. That's the marathon. It's not just a sprint. That's not life. Life's a marathon. Sprint is like real quick, done, that's it. I'm good. But marathon is like, no, you have to keep this going. You got to keep it going. That's what I got from Nipsey. That's what his power was. And like I said, Miss Lauren London is a down ass bitch in hip hop terminology. She was very attentive to him. She gave him 2 babies. They were never married, but they had, the idea of being like as if they were in marriage. That's what's so beautiful. But he was shot and killed outside of Marathon Clothing at 3:18 p.m. on March 31st, 5 years ago, 2019. And what that did for hip hop was like it shifted. I think it was a shift. It gave a clearer picture into what it means to be creative, what it means to not give back. I don't like that terminology. Oh, give back to the community, give back. No. What did you take in the first place? Okay? So it's not give back. It's actually about, it's not even really paying it forward. It's just creating something and then trading with someone. Trading with their money, trading with their time, trading with something, to benefit both parties. That's what it is. It's not any altruistic idealism associated with what, charity or anything like that has to be. It doesn't have to be altruistic. It doesn't have to be a win and a loss. Oh, he's giving back. Oh, because he took something. Obviously, he took something spiritually. He took something physically. He took something, in some way or shape or form or pattern. But yeah, I just wanted to lend some time, give my salute to Nipsey Hussle and for everything he did, everything he stood for, everything he was, everything he started, all the different programs that he fostered and cared for and grew up from nothing. He came from nothing. He came just from Crenshaw and Slauson. That's all he came from. 2 of the most gang infested places in South Los Angeles. He wanted to prevent that. He wanted to be, this is a quote, he wanted to focus on, quote, giving solutions and inspiration to young black men, quote unquote, quote unquote, to young black men like him. That's all he was trying to do, because it's that nigger synergy. it's a nigger a nigger moment, and then there's nigger synergy. So he was trying to denounce both. He wanted to do something proper and elegant and true in a world that was really mad. So salute to Nipsey Hussle. It's been 5 years since your death. Seems like a long time ago, and yesterday at the same time. So may you rock in power forever and ever. I don't say rest in peace. I say rock in power, because your memory will always be in our headphones and our car speakers and our stadiums. You will rock with your music forever and ever. Salute. All right, I gotta tell more about today. Today was special. First of all, I wasn't going to talk about it. I didn't talk about it at the table, but they messed up my order. First watch. I don't know how this happened, but I was like, "When? What's going on?" I was like, "Wait, I get the what pancakes? They were banging. This is why I didn't really say anything, because they were banging. But I wanted to get the carrot cake with the with the what is it? Oh, god damn it! Carrot cake with pecans. I guess pecans with banana. It was banana nut bread. Like, it was like banana nut bread, but it was pancake. And it was banging. It was the truth. So I didn't complain. But the next time, I'm gonna make sure I get the carrot cake with the pecans. What do you say? Pecans, pecans, whatever the case. I'm making sure I get that right, because that was our first meal today. We got the first watch. We got that meal going. That was special. I like that. That was enjoyable. It was my dad, my stepmom, my brother-in-law, my sister, and my nephew, my niece, and myself, and we just made a day of it. But before then, it was just my dad and myself. We were in church at 8:30 in the morning, and that's when their new time starts. But it was just an extraordinary day. Everything went well. Nothing. There was no fights. There was no arguments. There's a few little little times where the littles, my niece and nephew are both under age 4. They're actually under age 3. So they're still pretty much little babies, in a sense. But yeah, today was wonderful. It was a wonderful Easter, Resurrection Sunday. And this is the thing with me on Resurrection Sunday. It's so horrific. It's so terrible. I think people have to understand how terrible and horrific and disgusting, Christianity is. Not Christians, but Christianity. The idea of Christianity, not the people that are in search of meaning and truth. I have a lot of respect for people that are in search for meaning and truth. Hell, I was a Christian for 16 years that I can remember, from the age 3 to age 19. So I can definitely, understand where people are coming from. But I've been enlightened by way of Ayn Rand's objectivism. So that is a plus to me. But that millions and almost, I would say, billions of people all over the world believe in Jesus, the resurrection, the new life in heaven, and the false life, the death and hell. I mean, it still amazes me how people I've hinted at, and I've actually been a nuisance. I've been obnoxious, with at the beginning when I first started learning about objectivism. I was like, you got to understand this. You got to watch this video. You got to read this book. You got to. I was obnoxious. I was a complete nuisance. Completely. I was terrible. But I've learned to be quiet, understanding. All right, you believe that? I don't believe that, and continue on with our understanding of each other and what we are. And I just let it go. I just took it to a point where I could understand myself. That's the best thing too. It's like, it's not even a problem. It's like, that's selfish. That's good. Keep it to yourself. Unless if somebody wants to know about it, I'm willing to share. I'm willing to trade. You know, give them ideas and have them understand, point them in the right direction. The Fountainhead, Atlas Shrugged, and so many others. The book of choice for me was the Virtue of Selfishness. That was the book that changed my entire outlook. And of course, Objective Hate by Mr. Troy Star Terrain. But Ayn Rand's The Virtue of Selfishness, that one just, I don't know what it was. It flipped the switch. It said, you got to be an atheist. You got to be selfish. You got to be about yourself. And not, be derogatory or, dispel other people. But you have to be your own person. That's what I was really gunning for. So it was a very, interesting kind of setup, for me today. They didn't. Good Friday, I went to that service. The Good Friday service was very graphic. It talked about the pastor, the female pastor. She explained, in detail, about the crown of thorns being pressed into his brain and into his skull and everything like that. It's just horrific. But it's like candy in the eggs, in the bunny eggs. Candy in the eggs, maybe money in the eggs, you have to have some kind of distraction from, some horrific, disgusting, nasty things. They have to have some kind of, way of going off of the idea of being in, the Christian ideal. It's a strange thing. It's very weird. It's very goofy. Very eerie, very spooky even. How people continue to believe in this stuff. And I understand why, because they're searching for something good. They're searching for something true. But then they had the secular thing, like the Germans. The Germans introduced the Easter Bunny idea back in the 18th century. So, and I'm still trying to search for the word. It's not Celtic. It's, God damn it. I cannot think of the goddamn word. Somebody help me out. Celtic, pagan, Easter. The feast day of Easter was first a pagan holiday, a renewal and rebirth. Honored in the early spring, it praised the pagan goddess of fertility and spring known as Astera, Estere, or Eostre. The word Easter finds its etymology from the goddess's name. So it's a totally different thing. That's why they say Resurrection Sunday. Because Easter is more about pagan. Just like most of the holidays. They have pagan origins. Christmas, pagan origins. It's the same thing. Halloween, pagan origins. Or other, cultures for Halloween, other, if not pagan, it's other cultures that are involved. So we have to really focus on the true meaning of what Easter and Resurrection Sunday really are, and that's the amazing, ridiculous, crazy kind of condition that we're in right now. That we have to, look towards anti-heroes. We have to look towards people that are thieves and criminals and say that they're great, say that they're wonderful, say that, the gangsters are the winners. They're kind of like the everyman for the people. People can relate to them more so than the heroes and the people that are of perfect virtue. So glad that Ayn Rand, didn't stop with the Fountainhead or Atlas Shrugged. She kept going. She kept, promoting her books, obviously. She had an excellent, career in her life. So that's what's so powerful. But it's a weird situation, Happy Easter, Happy Resurrection Sunday. No, it's Resurrection Sunday. It's like you're saying you believe that this man came out of the tomb and ascended into heaven, and then he came back and showed off his wounds to his disciples. And then he ascended right back into heaven. And he's going to come again, they say. So this will be his third appearance. He came as a baby, which is sometime in the spring, not in the beginning of winter. He came as a baby. Then he had, 12 years. 12 years are totally gone. We have no idea what he did for 12 years. He had some instances for for 8, or maybe it's 18 years. I don't know. I'm trying to remember how many exactly. It was, I think he started like there's some accounts of him in his childhood, especially the scrolls of the scriptures of Thomas. Let me see. What is the scriptures of Thomas? The Gospels of Thomas. The Gospel of Thomas said that he, blinded people and, went on is this very contrary to what most people will believe about Jesus. But it's very close to being popularized. Now they're getting the words I can't even pronounce, so I'm not even gonna go that far. But my point is, he has so many, Jesus has so many, attachments to him, and they say he was one thing or not the other. But I think from, what was it, 18 to 30, there's like no recognition of him. They don't know what he was doing. But when he 30 to 33 is when he had his different ideas expressed, and when he's, love thy neighbor as thyself, and love those who hate you, love your enemy, not even your neighbor, your enemy. Now there wouldn't be a defense department, of course, if we believed in Jesus completely. There wouldn't be any, reason to have nuclear weapons and tanks and stuff, unless that's a really weird and bastardized version of loving someone. That's a really strange kind of way of showing your love for someone. To do that, that's a perverse kind of love. Oh, I love you so much. Let me hit you with a nuclear weapon. Oh, I love you so much. Let me hit you with this, Scud missile, or that was back in the 90s. But you know what I mean. If I could shoot you in the face with a rifle, I love you. I just love you. I love you. You're my enemy, but I had to shoot you in the face because I love you. Now I don't like you. That's the reason why I shot you. But I love you because you're my enemy. See how perverse and disgusting that is? See what that does to your self-esteem? See what that does to your brain, to your reason, to your thoughts? But we've been doing it for over a millennium. Millennia, really. For thousands of years. Going all the way back. And we've been trying to do the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And what is that called? Insanity. And I have bipolar disorder, so I know a little thing about mental illness. If you have a mental illness, you would understand the fact that if you continue to do the same thing without, over and over again, and expecting something new, something different, something, on the horizon that's, shining and brand new, that's crazy. That's insanity. That's completely insane. Completely insane. That goes against all things that are rational. That goes all things that are moral. Goes to all things that are ethical. That's the power. That's the power of, the ideas that are so entrenched, and that's why we have to fight for the future. Because the past is disgusting. It's ugly. It's nasty. It's a mess. For a few brief shining moments, like the Renaissance, the Age of Reason, Ayn Rand's philosophy of objectivism. There's bright spots. Aristotle. Oh my God. I'm gonna look it up because goddamn my fucking memory. And Saint Thomas Aquinas, Jesus Christ. Thomas Aquinas, Aristotle, so many of these people were so instrumental and so, powerful. But we're still fighting. We're still in a fight. There's still people that believe that Allah is God. There's still people that think that G-D is God. There's people that think that Jesus is God, is Christ, and weird. It's like the Trinity is like God is Jesus, but Jesus isn't the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit really isn't Jesus. It's a weird situation when you talk about the Holy Trinity, because you talk about like the Holy Spirit can impregnate, women. Like that's what happened with Mary. But nothing else can come from that? It's goofy. And why wasn't, the devil killed? Why is there a devil in the beginning? Why did you have to write that in the book? Why did that have to be a part of reality? No one really knows these truths, but you really do. If you look in the mirror and you take a good long look and you say, I want to make a new start. I want to be a new person. I want to have a new reality. I want to be truthful to myself. I want to be a part of what is right and what is not wrong. I want to be rational. I want to be selfish. I want to have the personal freedom that I deserve, not derived from God or government, but from my own morality, my own mind, my own reason. That's what I wish to have. And that's what I wish for you to have as well. I'm going to end this missive a little earlier. Have you guys, probably break out for drinks or something like that. I'm sure you had your dinner. You can have your after drinks now. Put the kids to bed. And remember Nipsey Hussle. He died 5 years ago today. And just be, on Easter, be thankful for reason. Be thankful for the fact that, secular culture and commercialism, candy. It's like, this is, I don't know if this is, the second most, it might be the second most popular day for candy. And for kids, it's another kids' holiday. They get dressed in their Sunday best and everybody looks nice and pretty and their yellows and pinks and greens and, the pastels and everything is nice. It's all right. That's what America's about. Commercializing all these different, holidays. That's the beauty and that's the truth. And I'm signing off on that. Thank you very much. Take care.